Now you're on to the flat feet hang pull into a jump. So with Olympic lifting, you've learned how to push into the ground through the pull, the clean pull. Now we're understanding where the bar should travel as it gets from the knee to the hip, and then how it should feel once you start adding power into that. When you do a clean, it should feel like a jump in a lot of aspects. This can kind of go too far that way sometimes. Some people are a bit too jumpy. They don't stay in contact with the ground long enough. So I just want to preface this, that the jump is a tool for the early stages, but we do need to balance this out in the future. So that's the tricky thing with Olympic weightlifting, is you don't want to do too much or too little of something, and we'll go into that a bit later on. But with the how-to of this movement, so same setup as you've done for your clean pull. Now, what's the hang position? So the hang just means you have the bar above the kneecap. This is not your hang. If it's below your knee, that's not a hang position. I want it to be here. This is your hang. If you were to go below your knee, that would be a low hang position. Okay, low meaning below the knee, low hang. This is your hang position, kind of just above that bone. For this part, we're gonna push into the floor, okay? Feel the bar scrape the thigh, shrug and get nice and tall. Remember, shrugging forward. Again, here, shrug. That's the first part. Then you go back to the knee and then you do a jump. With that jump, I want the bar to move and feel like it kind of floats a little bit. So here, pull, shrug, and then jump. If you see my arms kind of bend, I'm not pulling my arms, I'm not bending them, I'm jumping, and the momentum from my legs transferring into the bar pushes my elbows up. So this would be bending my arms too much. I don't want you to do that. A lot of people tend to do this. You don't need to do that part. All I want is knees, jump, and there's a slight floating nature of my arms. As I do that jump part, so I'll go through the full movement again. One pull, shrug. I want you to jump and shrug, just so you understand the timing of that. What it looks like over here, as I hinge over, okay, I have that contact of the thigh, shoulders over the bar, get that extended position, push and shrug forward. And then from here, back down, jump and shrug. Okay, here, shrug, jump and shrug. Now with the hang pull and hang jump, we're going to some of the mistakes. I've already mentioned one of the mistakes in the how-to video where people kind of bend the arms too early. This can be a result of loading the bar too heavy. So in the demo where I wasn't speaking, I just went to 40 kilos. I'd recommend ladies who are doing this program, you might work up to 30 kilos. It's all that you kind of really need. And guys, 40, maybe 45. You don't need to go very heavy with this drill. This drill is just to teach you what it's like to create momentum with the legs and just feel what it's like to generate that force and that jumping sensation. When you go to other movements, I don't want you to really jump too much, but I want you to try to really use your legs. So that's the main purpose. A common mistake can be that early arm bend, pulling the bar too much. All we need is like we're jumping with the bar and the bar pushes our arms up, and then you don't need to go too heavy. Again, just try to guide yourself with those loads I've suggested, and use this as a drill to understand what that feeling is meant to be like. With this movement as well, so going to that grip where we've talked about, either in hook grip or you can just hold the bar normally. From the hang position, I just want to see that shrug, keeping the feet flat. We won't go into the toes just yet. But when you jump, just let the feet do their thing. Okay? Here, shrug, keep the feet flat, down, and jump. I don't want to see this, don't need to do that yet, and I don't want to see this, or this kind of, the bar coming away from you. Try to feel a little bit more relaxed, as I say, don't need to be too aggressive with this movement. Just here, shrug, keep the feet flat, up. So from the side, what I don't want to see, not going onto the toes, What I want to see, staying flat. I don't want to see this. All I want to see is that, okay? With Olympic weightlifting, there's an important sensation of being relaxed at certain points. We don't always have to be super aggressive or super forceful all the time. It's a good mixture of trying to understand what it's like to put force in the ground, but we also need to understand what it's like to learn to move a bit more fluidly and just be a little bit more calm and relaxed with the barbell. So you've gone through the clean pull, keep working on that. Really good for strength, really good for understanding the positioning. This is now understanding what it's like to generate momentum, what it's like to put a bit of force into the bar. I do use the cues a jump for this part, but remember, we'll kind of pull away from that as you get more experienced and through some of the other exercises.